welcome Patreon listeners to the spoiler talk for the Irvine Welsh book, A Decent Ride. We got some stuff to go over here.
And I have to remember, because we're actually doing this in the order that you're probably hearing it on the, like, we're saying, hey, we're going to go do this or whatever on the actual podcast. So I have to remember to cover some of this. This is one of the more disturbing books in content. And we talked a little bit about necrophilia and incest and stuff. This motherfucker, Terry, pisses in the IV bag of his dying thought was his father, and the man is poisoned with urine in his bloodstream, which is only the second most terrifying thing to happen in this book.
What's the first?
That woman, the big, like, 700-pound woman, explodes. And that guy gets his face burned by like fat.
The dead burning fat. Yeah,
yes, I think that's worse. I think that scene where, and the fact that it's the twin brother of the other guy who's Jonty's face burned, and how Jonty's really excited that his mother got one and he got the other in throwing the Molotov cocktails at the buck. Yeah. That is really good stuff right there. But really, that's shiver-worthy, disgusting.
Yeah, that's pretty gross as fuck. There's the fucked up thing, because, like, Jonty having sex with the dead Ginty's corpse didn't even measure in the most terrifying things in the book.
Well, yeah, because then he has sex with his sister who's alive, and that's probably a little more disturbing. Now, how the fuck is this still on Amazon when Neil Smith's book,
Triple X Seamus,
got pulled off for very, very similar?
That's a good point. Well, he's not Irvine Welsh.
No, he wasn't making him a shit ton of money over on Amazon like Welsh is. So I guess that's almighty dollar still the top dog.
All right, so there's one thing I want to say about Dead Ginty that I think is just, like, probably one of the most elegant and beautiful touches of the entire book, because it makes no sense and it has no impact on the plot at all, is that he painted her gold.
Yeah, I'm a little
That was great. I thought that was awesome.
You know what? It was, but in taking a step back, and I'm not going to try to overanalyze this for the actual, like, wrap up in my rating on the book, but I'm not sure how I felt, and I know this is going to strike you as odd. I'm not sure how I felt about how Jonty was portrayed. So Jonty, who's slow, whatever, almost retarded, right?
I go back to simple, because he's just like, it's like he's unaware of the complexities of the world.
Right, but he's almost like the what's his name in the you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The rabbits, right? Like snapping a rabbit's neck. Okay, that's how I kind of
Lenny.
Lenny, right. So what do we have is we have a guy who's really slow, who's fucking raped by one guy, who's basically tricked / coerced into incest with his sister, who doesn't get that his girlfriend is dead, thinks he can fuck her back to life. If it wasn't done comedically, we'd almost have a very different view of this book.
Yeah, it's really disturbing. Like, and that's why I made that list. I can't believe you didn't draw more attention to what my list says.
You know what the problem was? I wasn't scrolled down enough, so I had the characters up. And I didn't, you know what I mean? I didn't see your list. But yeah, and then I saw, that necrophilia was misspelled and we can't be friends anymore.
The entire list, though, that I put up that I thought were fucked up things is necrophilia, incest, murder, gay rape-ish, prostitution, drug use, and golf. Those are the fucked up things that happened in this book.
Yeah, it was, and I'm a little. I really thought that Terry would at some point that Jonty would come clean, or Terry would find out that Jonty killed her.
Yeah, and there was the points where he kept asking when the trams were going to be running, that it's like someone's going to be like, why does he keep talking about these trams? Like, I felt like that was going somewhere.
And to be fair, he didn't kill her, right? She fell. She like, I think
it's more ambiguous, and then the more we realize he knows she's dead, the clearer it becomes. But I think that either she fell, or at one point it sounded like she died the way that her mother died, which was like from an aneurysm or some weird brain problem. So
well, that's what I was saying. Yeah, I wasn't really clear on that, but I'm pretty sure he didn't kill her. He just covered up her death.
Right.
Then he had sex with her and watched a fly crawl out of her mouth, which the fly crawling out of her mouth was really the finishing touch on that. I mean, listen, sex with a corpse, that's one thing. Flies coming out of their mouth, that really takes it up a notch.
And we didn't even talk about, speaking about corpses, digging up the grave so he could check out.
Oh my God, yeah.
Check out to see the dead guy's dick to see if he's the father.
Yeah.
That's something that happened. Not grave robbing, but definitely like grave dick looking.
Yeah, grave dicking. I don't know what that's. Oh. And I'll tell you that whole thing about how it's all plausible and how it's all this. I will say the only thing that I thought that Terry did that surprised me in that way that I wasn't sure that this was really Terry is like he was really good to the was she Hungarian or Bulgarian prostitute or whatever.
I think she was
Polish, whatever. And like he was really good to her and stuff, but then he has her giving a hand job to the guy, his stepdad.
Oh yeah.
Like that really felt a little out of place to me in that like I don't know. That like I was surprised that he asked her to. Yeah. That was probably the only time I really saw him out of character. And really, did he have to steal the bottle? So and I guess now we're well into the spoiler. Okay, like the other thing too is I don't know if he needed to steal that bottle. Like we go back and see the reveal, scene where,
Dude, though, the fucking moment it went missing, I knew it was him. Like there was, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was not a surprise at all. Like I knew that he took it, and that was an obvious. There were two big twists that didn't end up being so big for me. Mm-hmm. Him stealing the bottle of whiskey was not a surprise at all.
See, I thought the same thing when it happened, but the longer that storyline went on, the more I thought there was going to be a different reveal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing that was not a surprise to me at all was that the heart condition was a mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the only way that this book could redeem itself for that character was for him to go back. Like he fixed some things in his life that maybe all the sex was keeping him from fixing. But you were rooting for him to get back on the riding.
Yeah, and I don't know how I feel about that though, because like I get it. That was like the whole idea of this book is like Terry is Terry, and like he's this one of a kind. He's like the Loch Ness monster. He's a creature of myth, right?
Yeah. Need about 350.
He needs about 350. But like there was the whole story where he kind of without even trying became a better person when he wasn't having sex, and you're like, okay, so there's like some sort of moral or character development or whatever, like he becomes a better person. But the moment he finds out that he can have sex again, it's just like nothing changed. And I think that was like the thing is like taking the rug out from under you or whatever, but it was like, come on, man. It was, I don't know how I felt about that.
Yeah, I mean, again, like kind of like like you said, we're rooting for him to be able to do it again. But yeah, he does go right back, and it seems like none of that stuck, I guess, right? Is that what you're saying? Like,
yeah, because even like when he's talking to his daughter and he's trying to be a better person for his daughter, like he just starts talking about sex to his daughter again instead of caring about her life and stuff. And it's like, well, like at the very least, take those little things that made you a better person and weave them into, okay, you can still go and bang everybody. But no, it's like he just reverted back to who he was before he found out he had a heart condition.
Yep. Here, I'll give this one's for Patreon subscribers. I'm gonna try to read this one quote. Ya cunt. She gets my arm gamey and right back at her. You with the hair that's awfully inky, you're fucking well getting the stinky pinky, guaranteed. I don't know what any of that means, but I'm in on whatever that is. Stinky pinky and all.